Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over Drifblim, who got one of the move changes with Mystical Fire. I decided to pair it with Chesnaught and Registeel, so let's go ahead and get into the games. But first, if you haven't, definitely hit that subscribe button as it helps me out a ton and lets you know when the next video is, so let's get into it. Alright, so Metacham lead in this game, and then we come into Stunfisk. This is kind of the whole point of having Chesnaught here in the back, is it's a direct counter to Stunfisk here. They can only go for the rock slides, which are going to be, well, they're both resisted, Earthquake or rock slides, so whatever they want to go for is pretty okay, I guess, for them. We want to get as much energy as we can. I do remember this game, and I think I do mess up the count here. I thought I could farm, and then I wanted to throw before another rock slide, but you know what? We're so not affected by it, it doesn't really matter. We'll just go to the next one. Yeah, and then we have two Frenzy Plants here, so if they come back in with Metacham, we can throw one of these Frenzy Plants into Metacham, and it's going to do a ton. So, again, since Drifblim's not great against Stunfisk, it's great to have just this hard counter in the back if they do end up switching into something like that. And even Drifblim here with Mystical Fire, as you can see, I'm using the double debuff moveset, Mystical Fire and Icy Wind, is going to be decent against Drifblim. So they come in with Lantern. I throw this move just to reduce its attack. Both of them reduce the attack, and they both do the exact same amount of damage, so it doesn't really matter which one you throw. But you don't want to show your moves if you don't have to, so I've only shown Mystical Fire, so they still think, they still possibly think that we have a Shadow Ball, which is going to be super effective against the Metacham. Now, even without Shadow Ball, Drifblim beats Metacham in the 1 shields and the well, I don't know if it, yeah, and the zeros actually, because you are reducing that damage for the Icy Winds, for the Ice Punches, sorry. So we're going to take out this Lantern before they get to another move, because I see that switch is almost up. You want to shield the first move that Metacham throws, because you're going to be debuffing the other moves if you still have a shield. So, yeah. And again, Icy Wind, Mystical Fire. At this point, it doesn't really matter. I guess I could have thrown Mystical Fire. They probably would have shielded, but doesn't really matter if they shield or not. We're going to take this game. And we're actually close to farming down here. I'll probably go for three more hexes. Oh no, I just go straight for it. Okay. I mean, it's so close. I'm basically at the win here, so just gonna be able to farm down. And if we don't, we have Reggie, but this actually isn't even gonna pressure us since we've double debuffed it. So another team that kind of preys on Metacham here. If you noticed from a lot of my videos, yeah, Metacham's in the meta a lot. So, all right, Shadow Wall Rain lead. Obviously, this is really bad. I decide to swap out into Reggie. Reggie's going to have more neutral matchups. If you saw my other video, basically stating that Reggie is very neutral in this meta, even against its counters, like Metacham countering Registeel. It's going to be fine because you're still going to be able to get that shield. This shouldn't KO. And yeah, they have Power Punch as well. So, all right. We're going to be able to take the shield advantage here. Probably I still need a shield on Drifblim, but hopefully we don't get baited. Please be a Psychic. Okay, it was a Psychic, so we're able to do a ton of damage here. I think, yeah, we get the full farm down, which is nice. And Mystical Fire is actually pretty decent into Wall Rain. Going to be neutral, so you definitely want to throw this and not Icy Wind. Icy Wind double resisted. So don't do that. We end up catching here on Chesnaught, for better or for worse. It's okay, though. We did reduce its attack damage here. They come in with Nidoqueen. They're going to actually be able to farm us all the way down. But Frenzy Plant does do a lot here. If I had survived, I would have not thrown any more moves because we need Drifblim to have as much damage as possible. Now, Drifblim hard counters Nidoqueen. We resist everything. But they are able to reduce our defense, and now this Shadow Wall Rain is just going to really mess us up with the fast attack. But I end up getting the 2 Mystical Fires, and that's going to be enough to KO. So Mystical Fire, we can already see in these games, has given us the edge against... Oh, wait, they had the shield still. We farmed down. Has given us the edge against hard counters. So they come in with Nidoqueen, good for us. They switch into Quagsire, also good for us. I think I mess up this matchup because... Shadow Quagsire still does a lot, even though these are resisted, and I really tried to get as much of a farm as possible here. I I probably shouldn't be playing. I mean, I could take another one. So I guess I go for the full farm. I know one of these games I really messed up in the farm department, but that actually seemed pretty okay. Chesnaught into a Mud Boy, obviously going to be good. They come back in with Nidoqueen. Again, these Frenzy Plants are neutral against Nidoqueen. They're going to actually do something like 70%, I think. We'll see. They shield the first one, but they're not going to shield both, yeah. And then I decided to switch into Drifblim here because we can still have the Chesnaught in case. I actually thought they had something like a Swampert in the back, so I wanted that Chesnaught to be able to deal with that. They come in with the Lantern. Obviously, this is not great, but you know we can debuff it to hell and then come in with Chesnaught, get a big energy advantage, and maybe even throw something at that Nidoqueen. And then even if we can't, at least we got the Chesnaught onto the other water type. It was an ABB team. Good call by me. And sometimes you just have to make calls like that. They actually end up going for the no farm here. They're actually waiting for their timer here. This is really smart by our opponent. You can see they let all those moves come through, and then you can see they stop us right before the next one. So at first you think maybe they're lagging, but 100% this was calculated move by our opponents. And this could be an Earth Power, and I have shield at this point, so you might as well shield. To go for the Poison Fang, I decided to throw here because I want to get their shield. They're definitely going to go for an Earth Power now that they've reduced our defense. So I'm going to shield again as well. And I believe this Nidoqueen is in farm down range here for the lock-ons. So I'm going to go for the farm down and then throw whatever move I have into the Lantern. They have no shields. It doesn't really matter. Both moves are fine. Opponent quits out. GG. All right, Altaria in the lead. This is a really weird matchup because Icy Wind is double super effective, but your Hexes don't really have any pressure to KO this Mon, so you have to throw two moves. I do end up shielding this first move, and I believe it was Dazzling Gleam, or Moonblast, sorry. Yeah, and it was Moonblast. Really good shield here. I go for the double debuff. Probably they're going to switch out again. Again, the Hexes, oh, they actually just took it. Okay, they come in with Azu. I should really be switching to Reggie way before that, but you know what? It is what it is. It's not good for us. We really should have swapped right away. That's something to learn if you're watching this video and wanting to use this team. Just switch out right away if you have two things strong against the thing that they come in with the back, because now that Azu has a ton of energy and it has Ice Beam probably, and even if it doesn't, it has Play Rough. It has one of those two moves, and they're both going to be super effective against Chesnaught, and we really need to... I mean, we're really going to be worrying about that. I probably should have gone for Focus Blast just to pressure the shield. But you know what? We're probably going to get the shield here because I believe this will KO. Oh, they just let it go. Okay. And they come in with Azu. The question really is, should I shield this? I'll probably let this Drifblim go. Save my one shield for Chesnaught, and now that we've reduced it, it's still, I mean, it probably was going to have to throw two moves anyways, but Chesnaught is pretty squishy, so we just need to make sure we throw on good timing, which means for every Vine Whip we need to throw at 1, 4, 7, or 10, just so that we can make sure that we get our two moves off. Two moves probably going to be enough to KO this Azu. 3, 4, yeah, perfect. Yeah, and this should almost KO, and we're not in range. Oh, it does actually KO, but we're not in range of a move anyways there. So Charizard, another Mon I probably want to try out. They end up coming in with Umbreon. We're actually really good against Umbreon with this Chesnaught. The only thing we have to worry about is two Last Resorts. Does do a lot. Again, Chesnaught really squishy. And yeah, you can see two Last Resorts not going to KO us, but it is going to get us very low. That we might even be in range of a foul play. So we'll probably let them hit us here. We know that we're not going to get KO'd. We're going to go down to like 15, 20%. Yeah, like 20%. And then I just want to get a little bit more farm. Throw this. This should KO. No need to throw the superpower, even though the superpower is super effective. The Frenzy Plant's enough. We saw from the first time. I'm going to throw the superpower into Charizard. It is what it is. Both moves are resisted, but at least the superpower is the superpower singles resisted, and the Frenzy Plant is double resisted. So throwing the superpower makes sense. It also makes it to where we get KO'd sooner. They end up coming in with an Obstagoon. Not good. But I do have to switch out. I really need this Charizard to not be on Registeel. Otherwise, it's going to get a ton of energy. So I'm just going to throw it into this bad matchup. At least I've reduced its damage, the attack stat here of the Obstagoon. I'm not going to do any shields probably on Reggie. And I think I can probably take both shields here from them. They're going to win this middle matchup, but it's okay. We're going to allow the Reggie go down, because we're kind of all in on the Drifblim at this point. This is probably not going to KO either, and we're really close to a move, I believe, but they are really close to Charizard coming back in. I throw this move just because it's the only thing I can get off before getting KO'd, plus I want the timer to be back up. I have to come in Drifblim. I actually remember this game pretty well. So there's a weird dichotomy here with Obstagoon and Drifblim, because you want to be shielding the first move because you can reduce their damage, but they can also get the boost, and then you really don't want to be shielding the first move. But I did think about that before using the shield, and I thought it was worth the risk. I think the buff chance is 12.5%. So, I took a 12.5% chance, and or rather I took an 87.5% chance and didn't get lucky. But that's okay. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. I think we still end up winning this matchup, but those are things to think about when Mon have moves like that. Frostlass into Drifblim, it's an okay matchup. Obviously, their charge moves will basically one-shot you, but you're doing super effective damage in your fast attacks in Hex, and you're also doing super effective damage with the Mystical Fires. They come in with the champ and we instantly KO it. The really bad thing here is that they could have come in Frostlass and we probably wouldn't have been able to pressure it very well, but they end up coming in with a Swampert, which is really good because now we have the Chesnaught into that. But the Frostlass is still going to be trouble, but we do have 2 shields and we are able to debuff, so we're just going to shield their first few moves probably. And yeah, I mess up here, but it's okay. I think in the end, you really got to be counting better here. Obviously, that was not good because now I'm going to shield one of these moves. And actually, them switching in here, pretty good for us. Well, no, actually, they have a move on Swampert. I'd probably lose this game. Yeah, I think I remember losing this game now. Big mess up by me there on the Swampert matchup. I really should have thrown my energy on better timing. It's my own fault for not counting the moves. So, I mean, the thing is, people are getting better and better, and if you're not doing your part to really win these games, you're going to get destroyed out there. So, my own mistake here in this game, but, it is what it is. I'm going to try to go as far up as I can. I probably should have just gone to 2 moves, but I knew they were going to get to a move, so I threw anyways. But sometimes you have to go for but because we know they have the Swampert with a move already. But we would have lost CMP. Well, I don't know the CMP between these matchup, but all right, this is gonna be the last game. And someone called me in the middle of it, but it was DD into Drifblim, and then they swapped into Dugong, and then I swapped into Chesnaught. This is obviously the wrong switch. Should have 100% come in Reggie. Another mistake here in this game, but this matchup's not that bad. You can see we went to the 2 shields, and yeah, we end up outpacing, so we win the middle matchup. No, they caught. Really good catch by them. I should throw the Mystical Fire or Icy Wind, whichever one you want, as soon as possible, because it's possible they have Thunderbolt, and we just want to reduce the damage we're taking here, because I think we can leave this matchup with a lot of energy. And yeah, we're just going to go for the KO on this. They still have the Dugong in the back. They end up catching on the Defense Deoxys there. And they come in with Sandslash, but we were outpacing because we did as much energy as we could management in the DD matchup. And we basically one-shot that Mon. So it has enough for an ice... the ice charge move, but we still have a little bit of Chesnaught left. And we're going to be able to KO this Dugong. I don't know why I went for the Zap Cannon here. This was really dumb. Put myself in another lose situation here. Some of these games seem to not be as well played as I usually am. Sometimes I'm just playing, from the couch and not paying as much attention as I should be. But, I think for the most part, this team's really good. Obviously, I made a bunch of mistakes, but I was still able to get the wins. And I think Mystical Fire, if you're going to go Mystical Fire on Drifblim, I think I'd advise going for the double debuff moves. Icy Wind just gives you so much coverage to go Mystical Fire and Icy Wind, because you're able to hit the flyers with Icy Wind, you're able to beat the steals with Mystical Fire. Just gives you a range of hard hitting, pretty hard-hitting moves, to be honest, against those Mon, especially when they're super effective. So if you want to try out Drifblim, again, I recommend the double debuff moveset. Maybe if you want to try it with Shadow Ball and Mystical Fire or Icy Wind, let me know how that's been going for you. But otherwise, yeah, this is what I'm using, and I'll see you in the next one.